13-3, the Southern Cotton Kingdom. In the South, as you all know, cotton is the number one crop. The term that's often used is cotton is king. During colonial times, rice, indigo, and tobacco were the main crop. But as cotton prices kept going up and up and up, because of demand in Great Britain, cotton became the primary crop of the South. In the deep South, especially, they are producing cotton. The cotton gin, which you all know was created by Eli Whitney, removes seeds from cotton fibers and increases the amount of cotton that could be processed. One person could now do the work that was done by 50. So the farmers begin to grow more cotton, and instead of reducing the amount of slaves used, it actually increases it because we need more slaves out in the field farming it. They rely on this increased slave labor to plant and pick the cotton now. Other farmers produce sugar cane, known as the rich man's crop. In the upper South, it becomes a center for sale and transport of enslaved people, um, although the plantation sizes in the deep South were much larger. The South was really primarily in agricultural. They had very little industry. Pennsylvania itself had a higher value of manufactured goods than the entire South. Agriculture, especially cotton, as we previously said, was booming. They were making tons of money off of growing cotton and using slave labor. So why would they ever bother changing to industry? To them, what was the advantage? Agriculture was working. Why? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Another issue that kept Southerners from exploring industrial endeavors was that they didn't have a lot of capital. Capital is money to invest in business. All their money is tied up in their farms, their land, their slaves. Much of the population of the South was enslaved. They don't have any money, so there isn't an ability to buy goods. So we talk a lot about supply and demand. Well, in the South, there wasn't a demand for a lot of goods. So why bother changing to an environment where you would be supplying goods to people that can't buy them? I don't want you to walk away from this believing that there was no industry at all. There were some people that went into the endeavor. Guy by the name of William Gregg opened a textile factory in South Carolina. There was an iron mill that was created by a guy by the name of Joseph Reed Anderson. Basically, he takes over Tredegar Iron Works and becomes one of the leading producers of iron. So it's not that there was no industry, it was just very limited. In the South, transportation was definitely behind the North. There were natural waterways that provided the chief means for transporting major goods, using the sea, using the Mississippi, using the rivers. Um, Most of the towns are located along the seacoast or along the river. They didn't have a lot of canals, and their roads were pretty poor. The southern rail lines were short and local. They don't connect all the parts of a region into a network, so they were not utilized as much. And this lack of connectivity will really hurt the South during the Civil War. As your group is sitting here, can you guys talk about how that might occur?